Hello, strong people. It is week 6, I think. 6? I think 6. Week 6, day 2 of America's Strongest Man Prep. It is deadlift day. Oh my God. That's what they don't tell you when you get bigger. It's harder to reach stuff when you're itchy or washing your back. But that's besides the point. It's deadlift day. Nothing too crazy today. Well, bag toss first. 5 sets of 2 at 50 pounds. I swear to God, if I can't throw that over, we're going to lose our minds. But that is step 1 today. So get the bags weighed. Where are my? Oh, there they are. We'll do that first. Hopefully, I have some sort of leg drive today. I'm just going to not... All right, well, I was going to say I'm not going to think today during bag toss. I'm just going to try to let it fly. But I would like to try that cue I got from Guardione the other day. Now that I have a crossbar to actually throw to, try to aim it. So, we'll see. 5 sets of 2 at 50 should be okay. I've thrown 50 for reps before, but who knows? And then deadlifts for, I think it's like mid 4 to 500 pounds, somewhere in there, with red bands for, I don't even know what. I don't know the sets of reps. I have not paid attention to that. So then I think there might be some accessories there, maybe RDL. I don't know if we've pulled those out or not. I did not really look at the program before I started this video, so I know just bag toss and deadlift for sure. Oh, and squats. There are squats. So 4 sets of 4. Same thing, speed work on those. So I think bands as well. So we'll get that hooked up. Something I really don't want to do. My bands are on this platform over here, the red one, but my jerk blocks are there, so I don't want to move those to deadlift right there. So I'm gonna have to find another way to set up my bands. I'll probably just lay down plates or something. That's the good thing about these weighted out 45s. Everything about them is great. I really do love them. But because they have handles like that, you can also tie bands to them and use them as like an anchor. Unless they're crazy heavy bands, of course. If you're having, if you have a 45 here, a 45 there, and there's bands tied to it, and you're pulling up with over 90 pounds of a band tension, it's going to move the plates. So obviously just be aware of that. But it is, I've done it before. I've used these plates as little anchors for bands. So I'll probably do that today. I don't know what's after that. Probably some reverse hypers. But I feel a little bit more awake today than I have been the last few days, I would say. I don't know. But I feel better. Still feel stuffy, but all right. Talked enough. Let's get this yoke out here, get things set up, and throw some bags. And hopefully they feel at least mediocre. Even if I overperform in this event, I'm still going to get last, most likely, or maybe second to last, unless there's somebody out there that I don't know about who is just really, really bad at bags, because I'm really, really bad at bags when it comes to this style of throw. I feel like I might have a decent, I might be better off if it was a max weight bag, or a max height bag for like 30 pounds, 33 pounds, 35, somewhere in there. Might be okay there. Max weight, no. If it's a run up to like 55, 60, I might have a decent chance at up to 55, but it's none of those things, so it's all irrelevant. So let's just get warmed up and see what we got in us today. All right. So I think I did more sets than what was required there. But I was really doing some testing. Just because honestly, I got nothing to lose. Bag toss is by far my worst event, I imagine. Not that I've done every event, of course, so it's tough to say, because in strongman you could go years without doing certain events. But tried out the hard belt a little bit here and there. I lost the feeling for it somewhere in there. When I was training for a speed run, I was getting a really good flick off the end of the fingers. Like I could feel like the bag was flying out of my hand. Now it just kind of feels like I'm letting it go, and I don't feel like I'm getting quite the kind of the flick at the end of the toss. I don't know. I don't think the hard belt made much of a difference. I don't think I mentioned it before I started going, but I noticed that a lot of top dudes wear a belt when they're going for heavier throws. So I thought maybe it would help. Even a hard belt they wear, which I find kind of surprising. Of course, I'm on the short end of things, so I'm at a pretty strong disadvantage when it comes to events like this. Long levers, I don't have them. So, which sucks, whatever, but I think I could be 6'6" and I'd probably still suck at this event. But I don't think the belt made much of a difference, if any. If anything, it kind of cut down on mobility. Maybe I could get a little bit more of a good brace, a better pop out of the hole because I'm braced better, but I don't think I felt really anything different there, so I don't know. Just gonna go wing it. I got one more bag toss session. It's some lighter sets of 3 at like 40 or 45 pounds or something next week on a Tuesday is when I'll do those. I really thought it was gonna be like poetic, because that one of the throws there, I broke the crossbar. Not break, like the pipes didn't smash or anything. But that one end of the crossbar has held strong for I don't know how long now, how many months, or even years. I taped it once and it's kind of stayed that way. But I finally snapped it off of the tape there, finally pulled it out of the connector. So I really thought it was going to be kind of a poetic ending to the bag toss for this year. But that's not the case because I have one more session with it, so that sucks. But I'm now going to do some deadlifts. It's 350 to 400 actually, with red bands for some speed work. It says speed work specifically, so I'll probably throw on 3 plates and then a 25 on each side, just because if I throw on 4 plates, that's 428, and that's too much for what the program says. So probably it's going to end up being around, I think it's 388, so right around there, but we'll get it loaded up and see how it feels. I really shouldn't start each clip with a random noise like that. That's just how I feel in the moment, so it kind of comes out. Deads were fine. My kind of like my lower right side of my back was a little bit funky feeling. Just not like a little pinchy maybe. I don't really know how to describe it, but it felt a little bit weird. My nose thing is really crooked. It would help if I put the strips on right, but not like bad or injured or whatever. It's just like just more of an annoying type of thing, I guess. Nothing crazy. So, gonna move on. I'm getting very sidetracked. I really need to bolt down or screw down these mats on this end. They're not gonna go anywhere. I really don't know why I don't have them screwed in, because everything is moving all over the place. I need to fix that. But we're going to move on to whatever's next. I think there's RDLs and something else. And then we're going to move on to our squats. And I think there's probably something after that. I know at least, at the minimum, reverse hyper. So definitely going to get into those. But we are going to move on to whatever's next. I really am not looking forward to squatting. But it's speed work, so it shouldn't be too crazy. But I hate bands with squats, so that's a downside. But got to keep moving. Almost done, so let's move on. Squats are done. I so badly just want to do regular straight bar back squats. So bad. I understand why I'm programmed, the squats I'm programmed, but I feel like just regular squats, straight up, no box, straight bar, well, not even straight bar, even if it's just regular squats with just an SSB, I feel like I'm going to get so much more quad development and use. Anytime I'm doing a front box squat, I know that's more quad dominant, but still it feels pretty similar to, I'll explain it. But whether it's back squat or front squat, SSB box squat, it feels like a hip dominant movement. I feel like I'm squeezing my glutes from the start to move the weight, which works in a lot of strongman events. Triple extension, deadlifts works, log clean, but I feel like I'm missing overall leg strength when it comes to this. Like, I don't even use my legs all that much in trap bar deads, or like bag toss. Like, I feel like it's all hips. I don't feel like I'm getting much quad. To me, it is, my hips are disproportionately strong compared to my quads, and I feel like they take over so many lifts. And I really want to do something about it. I try to over-exaggerate how far forward I put my knees when I do box squatting now. Just because I'm getting a little bit more quad out of it. My ankle mobility is still not great. So if I push them too far forward, my heels come up a little bit. And you generally don't want that in a squat. You want to be as stable as possible. Like, I could use lifters to kind of go around that to keep my heels flat. I need to get a better pair of lifters, just because it's I don't think I like mine very much. They're pretty cheap. And I'm not saying it's the shoes problem. They do feel, generally speaking, they just feel really bizarre to me because I don't use them all that often. So it just feels like I'm wearing a brick on my feet. Everything else, all my other shoes, I feel pretty mobile in. like athletic. Not in squat shoes. I do not feel athletic. So I've talked enough. Let's move on here. Ugh. I always talked about wanting a reverse hyper in the gym, but I don't have the room for something like that, honestly. Oh yeah, that's what I needed on my back. That feels really good. I like that. If anybody ever buys this stupid hammer press thing, I don't want to say it's stupid. Like, it's a good piece of equipment. It's just nothing I really am going to use all that often. So if anybody ever buys that, I don't know. I don't know what I'll replace that with. I like the idea of a leg press, but I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Trying to think of other strongman stuff I need if I were to get rid of that, if someone were to buy that. I don't know. Like, there's things that I could pick up, but it's stuff that isn't super common. Like, I have a Husafell, but it's gross. And you can find like regular loadable like Titan Husafells pretty cheap. I don't know. Like, I like a Globe circus dumbbell style thing, but the problem with those, I wouldn't want a Rogue one because it needs to be filled with like lead shot, sand, whatever. It'd be really annoying to use. If I were to get one, I would love for it to be a Mike Bartos, an MB Power Center, globe style dumbbell. To my knowledge, it's the only one in the world to where the globes actually can unscrew and you can plate load it. That would be ideal. But I don't see those all that often. I don't know. I don't know. I would love to have one though. I'm trying to think of what else. I really want a Texas power bar. It's a little bit different than a Rogue power bar. Not quite as stiff. I think it's a little different in diameter. I would also like a squat bar still. Not something I'd use all the time, which is why I'm a little bit hesitant on it. Of course, that didn't stop me from buying that Mammoth bar that I haven't used yet, but it's cool. Oh yeah, someone's angry in there. Not too bad though. I like that Titan Yukon bar, but my biggest gripe with Titan bars, besides the fact that I've bent one, is that it is like fake knurling. It's not real knurling. I would love to replace that Yukon bar. If you're unfamiliar with Yukon bar, it's the one that kind of curves up. So it's like straight here, up, up, up. Makes it easier on the shoulders. Or harder to bench press, more range of motion. Weighted Out, company that makes these plates and the J-hooks, they actually started manufacturing the Duffalo bar, I believe. Like I don't know if it's the original. I don't want to quote that. I forget where, like the origin story, but it was like it was kind of like the one that came mainstream, I would say. So it's a legit bar. I think they're selling it. I don't know for sure. I know they talked about it a lot, and I saw it being promoted and stuff, but I don't know. I don't know for sure if it's like on the market. So, but it's legit. I'd love to replace that with the Duffalo bar. I'd like to get an Olympic bar too, like a good actual Ollie style bar. I don't know all the ins and outs of Olympic style bars, but generally speaking, it's got a little bit more whip, center knurl, not center knurl, kind of depends on the bar. Sleeve spin probably a little bit better than the standard power bar. Thickness, thinness, diameter, I'm not quite sure. It's a little bit different. All I know is it has more whip. It's somewhere in between a deadlift bar and a power bar, I would say. It allows you to use the flex on the bar. Like Lucas Hatton and Alec were talking about on their podcast. They kind of wish that the bar we were using at America's Strongest Man is an Olympic bar rather than a power bar. Just because you can get more weight out of it if you know how to use it right. So I'd love to have one. Just because every now and then I do have Olympic lifts that I do every so often. Not like, it's like strongman style Olympic stuff. Plus in the off season, if I plan on learning to like split jerk, or just behind the neck press in general, because I don't doubt that it's going to be at the Arnold. I don't know though. Hard to say, but I want to have just that, something in my back pocket just in case. So I'd like to get, well, even then it's still probably going to be a power bar there because it's still Strongman Corp. So I don't know. They're definitely all once. I don't need any of this stuff. I'd like a better football bar too. It's a Titan one over there. Same thing. Knurling kind of sucks. There isn't any. And I feel like knurling on a bar like that's important. And it just feels strange. The handles are not quite the width I want it to be. There was a Rogue one I thought about buying, or I think the handles are like interchangeable, so you can put them out or in depending on where you want it to be. And then it would have good knurling. But I got really off topic. Workout was okay. Not much to say about it. So I haven't figured out yet if I'm training Friday or Saturday. Saturday, my buddy has his first bodybuilding show, so I got to figure out what time that is because I want to go to that. If it's late enough in the afternoon, I'll probably get up and do my training session in the morning. But if it's midday or whatever, I'll just train Friday night. So we're 1 week out from flying out. I fly out next Wednesday, so it's crazy. Actually, this time next week, well, time difference. I land over there at like 6 o'clock, which is like 9 o'clock here. So not quite this time I'll be in Vegas next week, but you get the idea. So until next time, go out, get strong, stay strong, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.